lady had her own perspective of what Christmas is, and I want to be able to share that audio with you real quick before I even really go further with this. So listen to this.
These holidays, and I found out that Christmas has nothing to do with Christ at all. It's all about the worshiping of the sun god. During the time when Constantine was converting pagans into Christians, the pagans didn't want to let go of their celebrations. So what they did to compromise was they married the two. They took pagan festivals and Christian doctrine and put them together.
That was in the 4th century.
But it doesn't matter, because if we lived during the 4th century and we called ourselves Christians, like the early Christians did, we would not have celebrated it.
Can't you let your children enjoy the festivities of the holidays, the music, the spirit of kind of giving and family and
I want to pause that for 1 second, right? Let's go back to this, right? Let's go back to this real quick.
Converting pagans into Christians,
let's go back.
Has nothing to do with Christ at all. It's all about the worshiping of the sun god. During the time when Constantine was converting pagans into Christians, the pagans didn't want to let go of their celebrations. So what they did to compromise was they married the two. They took pagan festivals and Christian doctrine and put them together.
That was in the 4th century.
But it doesn't matter, because if we lived during the 4th century and we called ourselves Christians, like the early Christians did, we would not have celebrated it.
See, right there, I have a problem with that. She said that if, okay, Kevis, I hope I'm saying your name right. The problem with that is, if we did live in the 4th century at that time, people would practice that. People actually would. Exactly what she just said. They would have practiced it in the 4th century, because that's what they did back in those days. So that was kind of like inaccurate. Christians, if Christians married that with the paganism, whatever like that, and they came up with that with Christmas at that time. I don't even think Christmas was around in the 4th century. Probably was, I don't know. But whatever it was of the land, people would have been able to celebrate it as Christians.
Can't you let your children enjoy the festivities of the holidays, the music, the spirit of kind of giving and family and being together? It doesn't have to be whether it's a pagan origin or a Christian origin, or there's a real Santa Claus, or you believe it was Christ's birthday, or whatever. Can you not find a way to fold this into the current
Absolutely
world?
Absolutely not. Because to me, it's a form of Satanism. If anybody know anything about pagans, they didn't believe in Christ. They didn't believe in God. So would you let your children go to a seance and conjure up spirits? Of course not. You ain't bound.
So that's another problem I want to be able to interrupt too, is we live in America where there is freedom of religion. See, in America, you are able to practice whatever religion you want to practice. If people want to practice Kwanzaa, people want to practice Christmas, people want to practice what Muslims practice, what Polish people practice, you can practice that in America, which is part of the Constitution, freedom of religion. You understand what I'm saying? So when she says that, that's really saying that's violating our constitutional rights to do so.
That's another pagan holiday. It's as simple as going to your Encyclopedia Britannica, looking up Valentine's Day, and it'll tell you everything. This is not my opinion; these are facts. And if Christ was around, he would completely disagree with all these celebrations. I like to say that.
And I want to be able to pause that as well. She said, if Christ was around, and this is what I have a problem with a lot of Christians. Christians are talking like they know Christ like that, like they know what Christ would say. You don't know what the fuck Christ would say about these situations that's going on in the world. You ain't in his brain. That man's brain is so far beneath our human fucking mentality and shit. You can't even speak on what that man would have said about anything that's going on in the world, especially when it comes to Christmas.
Can't turn pus into pudding. You can't change something into a good thing because it was never intended that way.
Okay, you're saying that.
And that's another problem when she says you can't change something bad into something good. That's fucking retarded to me. We change every single day. People in America changes something that's bad, a bad situation, into a good situation. If I grew up in the ghetto and it's meant for me to be able to be succumb to that environment, to be like it's all bad for me and everything like that. I'm not supposed to accept the bad shit. I'm supposed to be able to turn that bad situation into a good situation. Even if there was a government that said, you know what, you need to be in the ghetto. You need to be there with all those black people. You're not going to be shit. You're always going to be a fucked up person. Am I supposed to accept that shit? Am I supposed to be like, you know what? The bad is the bad. I just got to take the bad and I'm not going to try to make no good out of my life? No, fuck that. No.
Pus-filled holiday.
Yes. Yeah, I think that those who understand the meaning, the true meaning of Christmas, and continue to do it, your soul's going to be judged. This is going out for the people who are afraid during Judgment Day, who are afraid to be sent to the hellfire. If you're just if you're an atheist, if you're just doing it for tradition, then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to preachers, those who have a religious responsibility to lead the people, and I don't believe that they are leading the people correctly.
I just totally, blatantly disagree.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that as a child that I didn't enjoy these things, because I did, and I couldn't wait to get older to pass it on to my children. But I got to stand up for righteousness. What's right? What's more important, the happiness of my child or making God happy?
Well, are you wicked? Are you wicked and ruined because you celebrate that as a child?
Well, no, because that wasn't something I did.
Well, would your daughter be wicked and ruined if she were allowed to celebrate as a child?
Well, no, because as a child, you're not even responsible for your sins. Once you get older and have an understanding, it's your duty to do what's right. Everything that's fun isn't right.
Okay. So we are going to validate what she said. Everybody has, the right to their opinions and things like that, but we're going to break it down. You know what I'm saying? When we look at, based on my research, I'm just like everybody else, man. I grew up on Christmas and things like that, presents and stuff like that. I knew there wasn't no Santa Claus like that. I knew it wasn't no white dude coming down no Christmas tree and all that type of stuff and everything to give us gifts. I knew that my parents was doing that shit. All right, my mom, my auntie, my family members. I knew that, so I didn't get caught up in that. But what's crazy is when she said that your souls will be damned, or your souls, or you'll go to hell, or whatever it may be, and all that type of shit. And she don't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if God is a forgiving God, and we can repent for our sins and things like that, and stuff like that. How can somebody just automatically say that we're going to? It just remind me. It just, people got to understand, when you were little, dude, when you was going to like church and all that type of shit, dude, people used to say the same shit to y'all. Oh, if you do this, you're going to hell, and you're going to do this, and your soul's going to be condemned, and all that type of shit. Because they're trying to tell us that our lifestyle and the way we should live should be based on a book that was written 1,000 trillion years ago. All right, so let's get back to the Christmas shit. This is just, and I'm not going to spend all day with it because I got to get back to shooting the movie and everything like that. But it did spark something for me and everything like that. What is Christmas? You know what I'm saying? When you really, really look at it, what is pagan holidays? America, let's be honest, America has done a lot of fucked up shit to a lot of cultures, right? And we need to understand the times, you know what I'm saying? The times, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Kevis. The times that, back then when America was doing that shit. We got like a lot of stuff that we look in hindsight, like we'll look at right now and say like, damn, what America did back in the 1500s was fucked up. But that's the way it was in the 1500s. That was just the aura of the people. That was the aura of the environment. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way somebody can look back on our lives right now, 1,000 years, in the future, look back at us and be like, damn, they smoked a lot of weed. Like, that's fucked up. Like, how did y'all smoke all that weed and shit like that? You're a bad person and shit like that. But if we're alive, we're saying like, damn, that was the cool thing to do at the time. So what I see with America is America tries its best to make the past better for the future generations. And I'm explaining to you. With all those holidays, what does those holidays really do? We live in America. What does those holidays really do? All those holidays, when you look at Christmas, what does Christmas really do? And what it really does is bring families together. I think Christ will want that. If we use Christmas and the name Christ to bring families together, to be able to bring people we haven't seen in for so long, to be able to be thankful for our lives that we are living, because that's what the holiday is. is to be thankful for what you have, to be able to give people gifts to show that you care about them or whatever it may be. Also, for the American economy, it allows businesses to grow. It allows people to make money. It allows people to be able to take care of their families and things like that. That's what the holiday does. That's what all these pagan holidays really do. It creates ways for people to make money. If you have a product right now, Kevis, right now, if you listen, if you had a product right now, right, you can sell it during Christmas time. People will buy your shit because it's a holiday of being able to give and receive, to help people. You see what I'm saying? That's what the holidays pretty much is. And nobody can tell us what Christ really would say. You know what I'm saying? Religion is used to control people, right? This, and everybody knows that. Everybody who's been a part of any type of religion felt controlled. Because you were never your authentic self. You never could really do what you really, really wanted to do. Because if somebody tell me like, oh, you can't do that because some book said you couldn't do it. Some book that was written down 500,000 years ago is telling me what I can't do right now. Come on, man. That's not that doesn't make any sense. And then we don't even know if it's the real book or not. We don't even know if those people really existed or not. We're just going off of faith. What we're doing is we're just going off of being what was told from generations to generations. Nobody know for real if Jesus walked this earth. Nobody know if Moses was here for real. There ain't no evidence of that shit. There's men, and people who made statues and pictures and all that. Yes, books have been removed from the Bible. Exactly. You ain't even getting the real fucking Bible to even base your life on it. That was always a problem with me growing up. That's why I used to always have problems with my grandma and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to like, man, I'm paying tithes to this preacher to be able to read me something out of a book that my own mother can read out the book for me. Why we got to pay this man and shit? Like, I remember being young, having no shoes for school and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, you taking the money I need for shoes to be able to give it to a dude for him to read something out of a book that you could read to me, or I could read my fucking self. So it didn't make any sense to me. But with Christmas and holidays in America, man, I just feel like this is all based on research and it's all based on like life experience and shit. It's really to bring people together. That's what Christmas does. It is bringing people together. It brings people together you haven't seen before. Because the world is so fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? The world is so much chaos and so much crazy shit. So America creates these holidays and everything to be able to brighten the spirit up. What is Valentine's Day? Let's look at some of the pagan holidays. She said Valentine's Day. What is Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day is showing appreciation to the people you love or to the person that you love. It's a special day for them. You know what I'm saying? Said while driving up in the Escalade, and when you ask him where mine is, he tells you pray harder. I don't know what that means. While driving up in the Escalade, and when you ask him where mine is, he tells you pray harder. Oh yeah. You talking about the preacher? Hell yeah! And I'm gonna and check this out, Kevin. I remember being younger, right? In Milwaukee, cold as hell in the wintertime, right? We on a bus stop. Me and my mom on a bus stop. And it's cold, it's freezing, like, you know what I'm saying? Just came from church. The preacher pulled up, the pastor. The preacher pulled up in a Cadillac right there on a bus stop. Like, right there on a bus stop. Looked at us and everything. You know what I'm saying? And then she was like, hey, how you doing, sister? Whatever like that. You know, they kind of like wait a little bit or whatever. I can hear him saying. And then I said, like, can you give us a ride to our house or whatever like that? And then he said, oh, no, we got something that we got to be able to do, but God bless you and shit like that. And I thought that was fucked up. We out here freezing and shit, and you in a motherfucking warm-ass Cadillac, and we just paid you, my mom paid you tithes. I can't say my mom paid tithes. And we can't even get a ride home in the fucking winter. I said, man, fuck that preacher, man. I think that was the end for me. Like, you know what I mean? With that shit. And my kid brain. I think I was like maybe like 10, 11 years old when that shit happened. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But when we look at Christmas, man, we got to really look at what it is. Would Jesus be mad? If we look at that book and we look at Jesus Christ and we say what Jesus was, right? If we go about what Jesus was and what we knew him to be, right? Would he be mad if we celebrate a holiday in his name to be able to bring happiness and bring families together to appreciate each other. What bad happens at Christmas time? It's a festival, man. It's to show love. It's to show appreciation. It's to be thankful for life. It's to be able to get close to people you haven't been close to before. It's to show, humbleness and humility to be able to help the less fortunate. Look at the Christmas holiday. When you see a bum on the street, and if you got the Christmas spirit, you're going to give a bum money. You're going to give people shelter. You're going to help the less fortunate during that holiday. The holiday Christmas spirit that's what it does to you. So if it does those things like that, why the fuck would motherfucking Jesus be mad? Like, you're helping the unfortunate. I'm gonna say it again. If you're going Christmas shopping and you got the Christmas spirit and you got money in your pocket and you see a bum on the street, you're gonna help that bum, dude. You're gonna help that person. If somebody needs something, whatever like that, you're gonna sacrifice something to yourself to give to another person. That's what Christmas is about, dude. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see it is about. I don't really see it as the problem. I feel like we in America, and in America, you have the right to practice whatever religion that you want to practice, as long as it doesn't hurt nobody, as long as it doesn't kill other Americans and shit, and destroy other Americans and make victims out of other Americans. That's what the Constitution gave us. You know what I'm saying? So if it ain't hurt nobody, then why condemn it? And that lady was talking about some shit that happened in the fourth. Yeah, back in them days, yeah, they would have practiced it back in them days. But you cannot tell me what Christ was saying at all. And this one guy said, but Christmas not Halloween because they say the devil's holidays and people do voodoo and devil rituals, but every first Sunday drink the blood of the Lord and eat his flesh, everything contradict. Yes, yep, Brandon, I believe in that. Yeah, I believe that too. You know what I mean? Are you drinking blood of Christ and you're drinking his and you're eating his flesh, and then you have something to say about Halloween? You know what I'm saying? And what does Halloween do too? You know what I'm saying? Halloween is, you know what I mean, it's a celebration. But what do you do in all these pagan holidays? Let's get to the real shit. Every single holiday in America, what happens? People get together and help each other. Every single holiday. That's what happens in America. People get together and they help each other. They help each other through emotional shit. They help each other financially. They fuel the economy. People be able to sell their products to their business owners. People get off of work and shit like that. Kids get out of school. Like, all type of shit happens and shit. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the problem? What is the problem? And I look at it like this. This is what I always tell, like, a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of black people have a problem with certain things in America. If you don't fucking like America, leave this motherfucker, man. It's simple, dude. Stop fucking complaining about every goddamn thing. If you don't like it, if you feel like the holidays is fucked up, you feel like America is fucking with you, you feel like all that's you. This motherfucking planet is huge. It's huge. Leave. Go somewhere where you feel like you're not going to be treated like that. Because it doesn't make any sense to stay somewhere where you don't feel appreciated at. If you feel like America hates you and is such a bad place, leave this motherfucker. Go to London. Go to Thailand. Go to motherfucking Japan. Go to motherfucking wherever it is. Go to Australia. Go wherever country, city. Go to Africa. That's better yet. Go to Africa. If you feel like, because a lot of them conscious people be telling me like, hey, you know what I'm saying? They stole us and all this type of shit. Well, go back to the motherland. Go back to the motherland. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, dude. You know what I mean? Go back to the place where you feel that you're going to be the happiest. Why stay here if you're unhappy? Why stay here? And then a lot of black people, I'm gonna go in a different direction. That's what I do. But a lot of black people say shit like, I'm here because of my ancestors or some shit. I'm here because of what they did. And you know what I tell those people? You don't even know who your fucking ancestors is, man. You don't know what they built in America. You don't know what tribe they came from, and you don't even know their motherfucking name, man. That's what. So don't tell me the reason why you're not gonna leave America is because of somebody you don't even fucking know. You don't have no emotional attachment to none of them ancestors you're talking about. None of them you saying that none of them slaves you say who built America, you don't even know who the fuck they are. You don't even know them. So don't use that as no crutch and no excuse why you can't personally get out of America if you feel like another country can do you better. Right? And that's and the same thing that Kevin said, man. Kevin said that freedom is what get people here. This is the country where we get the most freedom at. This is why people are fucking on inner tubes in the ocean. People are risking their lives to get here. People are dying to get to America. It's because it's the most beautiful country in the motherfucking whole entire planet. And if people can't see that, then that's a problem with them. They just lost. Then they should just leave. Like, how can America be that fucking bad if people are dying to get here? You know what I mean? Illegal people are over here. You know what I mean? You know how many people die in those oceans? You know what I mean? People die on motherfucking canoes and rafts and all type of motherfucking transportation devices or some shit to get over here, man, to have a better life. Because it's the most freedom country in the motherfucking whole entire planet. That's why. So if people have a problem with Christmas, then you got a right to not celebrate Christmas. You know what I'm saying? You got a right to it. But a lot of us already know, man, there ain't no fucking Santa Claus for real. We know that. Kids know that shit. Kids, I can ask my little cousins now, is there such thing as Santa Claus? They be like, no. They know where them parents is coming from. But what they do is they really appreciate what the holiday is supposed to be. Don't look at the shit on the surface. Go deeper than the surface. Look at what the holiday really means. Holiday means togetherness, happiness, helping the unfortunate, doing for other people. You know what I'm saying? Being humble, humility, shit like that. That's what the holiday is for. You know what I'm saying? But that's all, man. I got to get back to work. I got to get back to shooting and everything like that. But that did spark that for me. I wish Lamont Davis would have brought his ass up in here and shit like that. He's doing a lot of hiding. So if y'all find where Lamont Davis is or whatever like that, tell him I'm looking for him. And not looking for him for no drama or whatever, but an intellectual back and forth. You see what I'm saying? Because I look at and the reason why I talk about black people the way I talk about black people is because I was raised in that culture. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep you posted, Kevin. You know what I mean? I was raised in that culture. You know, you know what I mean? And what I do is I just look at, I'm an objective thinker. I just don't, because the black history that I taught, motherfuckers lied to me about shit. Motherfuckers lied to me about shit. So when I got older and shit, I started looking at things different and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to be like, whoa, that don't make any sense. That don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. So I question a lot of shit now. You know what I'm saying? I question a lot of, man, anything that people be saying like that, I'd be like, where's the evidence? And then a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, when we look at like I said, I'm gonna curve a little bit before I leave. It's like black people will tell me and stuff like that, oh, the ancient African way, we need to live like this, and this is what the Africans did 300,000 years ago. And I've been looking at them dudes be like, what the fuck is you talking about, man? Why would I live the way a conquered nation lived? Those people, whatever practices they had back in Africa, they got conquered over by somebody. So why would I take the lessons and shit over a conquered nation and shit? That shit don't make any sense to me. I'm not doing that shit. That shit is retarded to me. It don't make any sense to me. What happened 300,000 years ago ain't the same shit that's going on like right now. We in a whole different motherfucking world right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I can't do it. And this is why a lot of black people are upset or can't get the happiness that they want in their life because they don't have the willingness to evolve to where we are going to the future. These motherfuckers are going to the past. The fuck am I reading motherfucking shit from 3,000 years ago, man? That's the past. Now, I will give you this. If I look to the past, right? Just say I went 3,000. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. Say I went to the past and I looked 3,000 years ago. And okay, I'm gonna give you an example. If my door is broken, right? If my door is broken, right? Or look at this, coffee cup, right? Coffee cup. Or look at this mouse right here, right? So okay, let's just look at this mouse, right? Now if this mouse decides to break, right? And I have to go back 3,000 years ago to find a way to fix this mouse, then I will use it. Then I will use whatever it is from 3,000 years ago. If that does not fix this mouse, I'm not using that motherfucking mentality at all. I'm just not doing it. It doesn't make any sense. We have to be able to evolve, revolutionize our minds, revolutionize the way we live. You know what I mean? That's why I'm a revo. You know what I mean? That's why I take something that's beautiful and I make it even more beautiful. I take something that's bad, I turn it into something that's better. And that lady that was on there and shit, she was like, oh, you can't take something that's meant to be bad and turn it into the good. Yes, you can. The fuck is she talking about? Yes, you can. People do it every goddamn day. I've done it. I took a fucked up ass car that didn't have no engine, didn't have no muffler, was just sitting in the junkyard or whatever as a motherfucking experiment type of thing back in the day and shit like that. Me and a couple of my friends and one of my homegirls, right? We took a car that was bad. It was fucked up. It didn't even run or nothing. And we fixed that motherfucker up and it ran again. And we sold it. I mean, the car was bad. I mean, no engine, no transmission, none of that. Alternator, battery, none of that. Like a frame and some other shit that was going on with it. And we fixed it up. We turned something bad into something good. That's the American motherfucking way, man. Turn something bad and turn it into something good. That's the American way. And if motherfuckers don't understand that, they need to go somewhere else. You see that right there? This is the land of the free. You feel me? This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. You gotta be brave in this motherfucker, man. You gotta be strong in America. America ain't for no weak ass motherfuckers, man. America ain't for no crybabies and shit like that. You wanna be a crybaby? Take your ass to another motherfucking country. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. A lot of motherfuckers died on this soil, dude, for it to be like that. And not just black people. All cultures. What's up, Cliff? All cultures. All cultures died on this land and shit like that, man. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about the Indians and all that type of shit too, man. You know what I'm saying? We can flip it into that discussion. You know, people say America took the land from the Indians. No, they didn't. They went to war with them Indians. And if anybody know about history, man, even African nations went to war with other African nations and took their land and shit. So I don't know what the fuck these people be talking about, man. People need to understand new history for real. Black people are not the only people that's ever been brutalized and fucked up in this country or in this world. There were Irish slaves over here before them black people even got here. But people don't want to talk about that. And another thing that people don't want to talk about, slavery has been going on since the days of Moses and Jesus, man. You know what I'm saying? From the days of Moses and Jesus. What's up, Lamont? From the days of Moses and Jesus, dude, slavery has been going on that motherfucking long, right? So when America decided to be their own nation, and they went to war with Great Britain, right? They went to war with Great Britain, the Revolutionary War, and they won. And Declaration of Independence, and they started making their own fucking nation and their laws and policies and shit like that, right? They ended slavery legally in less than 100 years. And slavery has been going on for 500,000 years. That's crazy to me. And you don't even give a motherfucker, and you don't even give America props for that shit. The people who wasn't even a slave are the ones who's talking shit. But the people who were slaves was happy in a motherfucker to be free. They love Abraham Lincoln. These motherfucking niggas right now, they hate Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, what you hate Abraham Lincoln for? What you hate Abraham Lincoln for? Abraham Lincoln got shot in the motherfucking head for coming up with the idea of being able to even free motherfucking black people. And black people will tell me some shit like, what would they say? They'll say some shit like, what does the other dude say the other day? Say, oh, Abraham Lincoln wasn't for black people. He had other shit going on. He really wanted them to be this and that or whatever it may be. And I'm like, all right, cool. If I'm a slave, right, and I'm being brutalized every day, and this white man, right, he don't have to free me. What benefit it is to free me? What benefit it is to Abraham Lincoln to free me? There could be slaves in the North, slaves in the South. That's free labor, dude. So America to thrive even more. They was trying to push slavery past fuck the Mississippi River, and Abraham Lincoln was like, "Fuck that. No, we ain't doing that." They tried to get it to the West, way over there to California, New Mexico, and all that land over there, and they tried to stop it. Well, actually, they did stop it. But let me go back to it. It's like, as a slave, if Abraham Lincoln was doing whatever the fuck he was doing to other white people, I would not give a fuck. If Abraham Lincoln was like saying, like, you know what, I'm in this business deal, I'm doing fucked up shit over here, I'm doing fucked up shit over here, but you know what? If I win this war, I'm going to free 3 million black people who's in bondage. And the first ones that I'm going to free are the ones that's actually in bondage before the war is even done. Because Abraham Lincoln gave an executive order to free slaves that's in the Confederate States while the war was going on. So he was like saying, like, if you can get out them states, if we get down there, if the Union soldiers get down there and we see black people as a slave, we're going to bring you out of there and we're going to push you up out that motherfucker so you can be free. And then later on, he's like, abolished it forever. In less than 100 years, when slavery was going on around the world for like 500,000 years, the days of Moses and Jesus and all that shit. People got to stop talking shit about America, man. Like, for real, dude. People got to really stop talking about America like that, man. Because in certain countries, they would kill your ass. It's a lot of freedoms in America. It's a lot of freedoms. You know what I'm saying? And what people need to do is take advantage of these freedoms. It's Christmas, holiday spirit. We like 3 days before Christmas, right? It's a story, right? The wise man. Nobody knows if that shit really existed. I heard a story about Cupid, mythology and shit like that. Nobody knows that those stories are for real, right? When you're a parent and you're telling your kid a story, a bedtime story, does that make you a liar then? To make your kid feel good? Ask yourself that fucking question. When your kid feeling bad and everything like that, when they're bad at school or whatever like that, you tell them some shit to make them feel better, even if you're lying. You could be lying like a motherfucker, but you're going to tell your kid whatever is fucking necessary in order for them to be happy. Let's keep it real around this motherfucker, man. These are stories. And what are those stories able to do? Those stories are to be able to empower the mind, empower the heart, and to make us feel better and not make us fall into some deep motherfucking depression. You know what I'm saying? Into some deep motherfucking depression. Because that's what we do as parents, right? Ain't that what you do with your kids? Everybody watching, everybody listening? Your kid have a fucked up day? You're going to lie to your kid to make them feel good. You're going to tell them a story. Hey, me and grandpa did this back in the day, and now you're going to probably over-exaggerate it in order to make your point for your kid to feel better. That's what America does, man, with them stories, man. Because I used to be like, like Easter time. I used to be like, what the fuck does a rabbit and an egg got to do with anything and shit? I'm like, rabbits don't even lay eggs. You know what I'm saying? But it's a story. It has symbolism to it. You know what I'm saying? So we listen to these stories, and what do these stories do? They try to help us live a lot better in this world and be able to help the less fortunate. So I got to get out of here. I spend too much time, man. You know what I'm saying? It's almost about 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? I got to get ready to finish shooting everything. But thanks for everybody that came out. You know what I'm saying? Kevis, I definitely let you know. I see Lamont came through or whatever like that. Me and Lamont going to have to be able to talk someday in the future. You know what I'm saying? I know we be at it. But one thing too, for Lamont to be able to understand, this ain't no personal thing, dude. I just kill your theories. Because your theories don't make sense. It don't have nothing to do with you as a man and no name calling or whatever like that. You could be the coolest ass dude or whatever. But your theories and what you be saying is like hella inaccurate. And I'm going to let you know. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And that's what we supposed to do, man. If somebody got some weird way of thinking, we supposed to bring a different perspective so they don't think weird anymore. So everybody have a good day. And talk to y'all soon.